Hey guys, hello, what's up? Welcome back to another amazing video of Technical Zone. You're watching Technical Zone and I'm Umar, and this is the part 2 of our Java programming series. And today we are going to write our very first Java program. Our first lines of Java code are going to be written in this video, and we are going to write a hello world program. I'm also going to explain the syntax of this program, and I request all of you, I urge all of you to please watch this video from the start till the end so that you can get benefited. And without a further ado, let's quickly begin with our today's session. And I'll quickly come on my browser. Before we start with anything, I want all of you to know that what is an IDE. As you can see, IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Now, what is Integrated Development Environment? It is the interface. Let me show the images. It is going to be the interface on which we are going to write our Java program. IDE software. The interface on which we are going to write our Java program is called IDE. And there are many IDEs. Visual Studio Code, Notepad++, Jupyter, there are many. But the thing is that because we are just beginners, so we do not need these high level IDEs, these professional IDEs like Jupyter, Notepad++, and Atom or Visual Studio Code. We do not need them at this time. Because we are beginners, we need such an application that explains to us the concept of classes, shows us class structures, objects in a graphical way, so that we can easily understand the concept. And because we are not going to indulge ourselves into making some big project, we are not going to do extensive coding. Hence, a small IDE, a user-friendly IDE is going to be very suitable. And after a lot of research, what I have found is that a good IDE for beginners is BlueJ. Now, BlueJ was developed by University of Kent for the purpose of beginners to learn Java programming. The best part of BlueJ is that it is going to show you everything in a very simple interface. You can see this is the interface of BlueJ. This is how simple things are going to look in BlueJ. These are objects now, and these are classes, and this whole thing is called a project. And this is what BlueJ is going to look like. And I think we must download BlueJ without any further ado. And I'll just click on the download link. It is going to bring me to this website. What I'm going to do is I will, because this is Windows 10, so I'm going to go with the first link. And yeah, it's a 240 MB file, MSI installer, and yeah, the installation process began. Now, by the time the installation process is going on, let me quickly give you a sneak peek into what we are going to do. So let me write on the browser hello world program in Java. And we are going to quickly see an image, and we are going to just get a brief overview that what are things going to look like. So what we are going to do today is going to be something like this. We are going to make a class, then we are going to make a main method, and inside that main method we are going to write our print statement, and it is going to print hello world. And now, because my ID is installed, we can directly continue with setting up the files. So the wizard is here. Click on next. Let's install it for all the users. Then next. Ensure that all these three checkboxes are ticked. Next. Select the directory. For my case, this directory is perfectly fine. Next. Yes, ready to install. So yeah, the process has begun. And it's going to take a minute or two. Let me close the browser till then. Okay, so now let's quickly come on BlueJ. So here is BlueJ, our IDE, the app on which we are going to code Java. So because I've already been using BlueJ, so this project is already opened, but because most of you are beginners, let's create a new project quickly. So just assume that this was a completely new installed application. So first you have to come on project, then you have to click on new project. You have to type a name for your project. Let me type Java codes 1 2 3. Then you need to select the location. For my in my case, this location is perfectly fine. And if you want to change the location, you can click on the choose button and you can go through this. And let's click on OK. And yes, our project is ready. This is the documentation, which for this time being we are going to completely ignore. And let's quickly create a class. So before we create a class, let me quickly come on my whiteboard and tell you guys that what is a class. What is a class? Whiteboard online. Now I told you guys in the previous video that object oriented programming is basically made out of objects. So we are having 3 objects. Let's assume that these 3 circles are objects. Object 1, object 2, and this is object 3. These 3 objects come under a common structure. These 3 objects come under a common structure, and we call this structure a class. So what is a class? Class is a collection of related objects, or you can say class is a common structure for a number of objects. And this is a very simple diagram showing us that what a class is. And now let me say that, for example, we are having 3 to 4 classes. We are having, let's say, 2 classes. So quickly reload more whiteboard screen. Let's say that we have 3 classes with us, class 1, class 2, and we are having class 3. So these are the 3 classes. Now let's say that these 3 classes come under a common structure, and this common structure, let's name this common structure A. So this A is basically a package. What is a package? Package is a collection of related classes. So these classes, let's say class 1 is having under it 3 different objects. So these 3 different objects are related to each other, so they are going to come under a class. Now we are having 3 classes. These 3 classes are related to each other, and they are now going to come under package. Let's say that this is package 1. So this is the basic concept. This is the relation between class, object, and packages. And now let's quickly come on BlueJ and make a class. So we are going to click on new class. This interface will come. We are going to type a name. Now remember that while typing a name, if you are going to begin with a numeral, let's say 45UN, then it's going to say not a valid Java class name. You have to make sure that it is not containing any numeral in the start. It can have it in the middle, but not in the start. And special characters I'll suggest you to ignore, and you must put a class name that abides by all the Java rules. For now, let's quickly put the class name as class ABC. Let's say that the name of this class is class ABC, and let's quickly click on OK. So yes, our class is ready, and this is class ABC. A simple click on this, and here is the interface. Now there are a number of things written over here which for now we are going to ignore, and what we are going to do is we are simply going to select everything and backspace. And now let's start with the coding part. So the first code is going to be, the first line of code is going to be public class, and let me give a name ABC, then curly braces, then I am going to open these braces, then I am going to come inside, then I am going to type public static void main, public static void main. Okay, now just a minute, public static void main. And now inside this public static void main, let me say that we want to print something. So we are going to give some outputs. We are going to type system.out.print ln, let's say print, then semicolon, and then we are going to write something. Our program is going to be hello world. So this is our very simple hello world program, and now let's quickly understand the syntax. So what I'm going to do is, first let me quickly compile it. You can see no syntax errors, the code is correct. Now I'm going to close it, I'm going to come here, I'm going to click on void main, and you can see hello world is getting printed. Our first code has got executed and compiled and interpreted, and here is the outcome. And now let's quickly understand that what coding did we do here, what exactly did we write here, what do these lines of code mean. So I'm going to quickly open snipping tool, or let's say snip and sketch. I'm going to create a new sketch, and okay, we are having the sketch over here. Now let's quickly understand. So public class ABC. Now what is this public? We can see we have used the word public 2 times, once here, and we have also used it here. But what is the meaning of public here? Public over here is an access specifier. Public is an access specifier. Now what do I mean by access specifier? Access specifier means that this class ABC can be accessed by any other class. Now for example, I am saying, let me quickly come on the drawing board. For example, I am saying that I was having 3 classes. I was having class 1, then I was having class 2, and then I was having class 3. Okay. Now let me say that class 1 is a public class. It is a public class. So class 1 is a public class. This means that the content inside this class, can be accessed by the other 2 classes as well. So if we are writing public, then what we mean is that the content inside ABC, can be easily used by any other class. So this is the meaning of public. Now what is a class? I already told you class is a collection of related objects. And then we have written the name of the class. We obviously need a name to uniquely identify a class. So the name in this case is ABC. This is the meaning of the first line of code. Public class ABC means that we have created a class named ABC, and that class is public, which means that the code inside this class can be accessed by other classes as well. Now we have opened these curly braces. What do these curly braces mean? Whatever code we have to write inside a class, they are going to be written inside these round brackets, these curly braces. These are the curly braces, and we are going to write the code inside these curly braces only. Now, okay, fine. This is the code inside our class. This is the code of class ABC. But again, we are having over here public static void main. Is it an object? No, it's not. So what is public static void main, and what do these parentheses mean over here? Public, the first word, again means that this entire thing is going to be accessible to other entities inside this class. But what is this? So basically, let's start from here. We are having the word main. Now what is main? Main is not at all an object. So if I'll tell you, then main is basically a function. Main is a function. And what is a function? Function is a group of instructions. Function is a group of instructions which need to get executed so that we can perform certain tasks on a given data. Just a minute. So okay, F over here denotes function. Main is a function. Why are we not having any object inside? Because we know that object is something which is having functions and data inside it. We already studied it in the previous video, but why don't we have an object inside it? Interesting story. Okay, so we got to know main is a function, and then we are having this line of code inside main, system.out.print hello world. And this is actually not an instruction. We have just passed a line, we have just passed an argument, and we want this to get printed. Now, if before continuing further, I want to tell you guys that main is something from where the program execution begins. Yani ki main is that function from where the execution of this program is going to start. This is the first function to get executed. This is the first function to get executed. If main is not present, then execution of the program is not going to happen. And this is the reason main is put over here. Now, public. Now, this means that all other functions, now let me quickly open another whiteboard. Let's say that we are having 3 functions. Let's say that we are having f1, then we are having f2, and we know that without main method, we cannot run our Java program, and then we are having a main method. And we are saying that this main method is public. So, what does this mean? That whatever instructions are present inside this main method, whatever instructions are present inside this main method are going to be accessible by f2 and f1 as well. This is the simple concept. Whatever is there inside this is accessible by the other 2 functions as well. Simple. Now, what is the meaning of static and void? Now, static over here means, let me first tell you that what is the meaning of static. If I do a quick Google search and I try to find out that what is the meaning of static in public static void main, then let's see what the Google gives us as an answer. If you come down and you try to understand the meaning of static, then what the definition says is that it is a keyword, and the role of adding static before any entity is to basically make sure that the entity is a class entity. It means adding static before methods and variables make them class methods and class variables respectively. Now, this definition appears very complex. What is it basically? As I told you guys already, that in Java programming, object is the entity inside which we are having these functions and data. But in our program, as you can see, we are not having any object. So, static keyword basically means over here that it specifies कि this main method is a part of this is a lighter shade. Let me quickly change the pencil color. Basically, it means that this main method is a property of the class directly, and it is not having any object. It is not a part of any object. It is not a part of any object. It is directly a part of the class. It is an entity inside class. It is not an entity inside an object. It is not at all an entity inside an object. So, if we want to create functions, but we don't want to create objects. We want those functions to be treated as class entities, which is an exception in Java programming. We want to make this exception happen. We don't want the function, we don't want the main method to be a part of an object. We don't want to initiate an object. We don't want to make an object. We don't want to code an object. At the same time, we want to make a function. Then we are going to put the keyword static. This is the keyword which you need to put if you directly want to put a function inside a class. And it is very significant to put it. Without it, the Java program will not work. Now, for example, if I had not written public, then what would have happened? It would have still got executed, because if we are writing class ABC, then by default the property applied is public. We are having other properties as well. We are having friendly, we are having private. So, I could have written private class ABC, which means that the data inside this class cannot be accessed by other classes. We could have written friendly also, which is you can say semi-public or semi-private, somewhere between public and private. but we have written public over here. If we are not writing anything, then it will assume public. Without public, the code will run, but without static in this program, things are not going to happen at all, because we have not initiated an object and we are directly using this main method inside a class. Now, this keyword void, okay, void over here basically means that we are not passing any arguments. Let me quickly clear this. We are not passing any argument, and by argument I mean that we are not giving any data to this function. Now if you'll observe this whole code, then we have not provided any data. We have not inserted any number, nor have we inserted any string. No sort of data has been given. No data has been given. We have just simply got a string printed. This is hello world. We have just got this line printed and nothing else. So what it means is that we are not passing any string values over here. We are not giving any sort of data. And let's quickly go through the bookish definition as well. Let's quickly understand that what is void in public static void main. Okay, so let me scroll down, geeks for geeks, and if I try to find out then the meaning of void, it is a keyword and is used to specify that a method does not return anything, as the main method does not return anything. Its return type is void. As soon as the main method terminates, the Java program terminates too. Hence it doesn't make any sense to return from the main method, as JVM can do anything with the return value of it. Now because we are not providing any data, let me quickly come over here, we are not providing any data in these curly braces. By the way, whatever value we have to pass, whatever value we have to give to this main method have to be put inside this curly brace only. But because these curly braces are empty, so automatically we are not going to get any return type. Now what do I mean by return type? I mean by return type that we are not going to get any value in return, and it is not at all obligatory for this main method. It is not obligatory for the main method to return something. This is the meaning of void. Void basically gives a sort of relaxation to our main method. It basically tells that it is not a compulsion, or you can say that the main method is not going to return anything. It is not going to give you back anything. And if people get confused with this, that we are getting hello world and this is just a string we are getting printed. This is not something coming from the function. We have told the function that we want this to get printed. Function has not done anything, and because function has not created its own output, so obviously it is not having no return type. It is not returning us anything, and this is the reason we use void. We can write a program without void as well. Yes, it's possible to write it, but provided that main method is returning some value at the end. In this program, everything, each and every instruction over here is being given by us. We have told that print this. Main method has not created anything, nor is it giving us anything. So we are going to use the keyword void, which is going to tell that the main method is free of providing any sort of value back to us. And this is simply the meaning of main method. Now the final line of code, system.out.print. Basically, system.out.print hello world. Now just a minute. What does this line mean? Now firstly we are having system. Just a minute. System, and then we are having dot, and then we are having out. System is basically a class. Yes, system is a class, out is a function, and print you can say is a sort of semi function. No, system is a class, out is a class, inside it you can say it is a subclass, and print is a function. So let me quickly tell. This is a class, out is a class inside this class, or you can say a semi class, and print is a function. Okay. System being a class, has certain functions. Now these functions have the responsibility of doing certain things. Now if we are having a class, then it is very possible that inside this class we are having 2 to 3 subclasses. For example, system is a class and inside it we are having one subclass, and that subclass is out. That subclass is out. System dot out. Now basically system dot out points to the terminal on which things are getting executed. System dot out refers to this terminal. Let me show you. It refers to this terminal over where our code, the output is coming. So void main, this blue jade terminal window is being referred by system dot out. If I solely go on Geeks for Geeks and show you that what is the meaning of system dot out, then it is going to tell that system is a class and out is a class inside it. System in Java. You can see that system is a class and this class is having out as a subclass. This entire thing points to the terminal window. It points to the terminal window of Java, which I just now showed you. And then what is print? So system.out.print, it commands Java that what you have to do is that after reaching the blue jade terminal window, you have to print something which is present inside these curly braces. Be very get it very clear that print is not a class, it is rather a function. And the role of this function, what is the role of print? What is the role of print function? The role of print function is to get something written between these curly braces printed, nothing else. So again, coming on the whiteboard, nothing else. And with this we got the complete explanation of this Java program. This simple Java program got done, and this is how we code a hello world program. Things may sound complicated right now, but as we are going to proceed ahead, it is going to appear very simple, rather easy to understand if I say. Now the last thing which we are left is with these double quotes. Remember one thing, whenever you want to print a certain set of letters, if you want to print A, B, C, then inside the curly braces you are going to put a double quote. You are going to put a double quote. This double quote means that you are going to print a string. Now string is a combination of, this is a string. Now what is a string? String is a combination of characters. You can say A is a character, B is a character, C is a character, and string is a combination of more than one characters. This is the reason we put double quotes. Had we, for example, we just have to print A, then we can simply write A. Single quotes will work because single quote refers to character. One character, if we are having one character, then what we are going to do? We are going to do this. If we are having one plus character, which means that we are having more than one character, then what we are going to do? We are going to do this. And last but not the least, if I zoom in a little bit, then you are going to observe there is something over here, and this is a semicolon. Now semicolon in Java is a line terminator. It is a line terminator, and line terminator means that when the Java compiler is going to see this, it is only then that the Java compiler is going to stop and is going to move to the next line. Remember one thing, for example, I have written two words. This is one word and this is another word. Fine. And there is space between this. Java is not going to read this space at all. We can only change the statement by putting this line terminator called the semicolon. By pressing enter key on our keyboard, we cannot instruct the Java compiler to move from this line, from this one particular line to another line. Java compiler is going to move to the next line only when it is going to see this. So it is very important that after each line of code you do put this. And before you guys get confused, that why have we not put this over here or over here in front of the main method, then remember that this is a class and this is a function, and we don't put this after a class or a function. Putting this over here will produce errors. We never do this. This is a blunder in Java. We only do this after statements of code, and this is a statement of code. This is the reason it is very significant to put it over here. And this is the entire thing. Remember one more thing, that if you are opening one curly brace, then it is very significant to close it as well. Without it, another error, errors can get produced. You can see that if there is always one opening and closing pair with each curly brace. Same applies to these round brackets or parentheses. And with this, we completed the entire explanation of our hello world program. This was our first program. Things may sound a little tricky, difficult or challenging right now, but as we are going to practice more programs, we are going to eventually strengthen our concepts. And I think that this concept was not too difficult, and if you replay this video and watch it again and again, you are surely going to understand. You can also refer to W3 Schools. So W3 Schools is a very good website. Over here you can also get you would be getting some written material of Java, so you can practice some codes over here as well. I'm there to guide, and surely after a few parts of this series, you are going to get familiar with Java rules, Java syntaxes, and Java is going to be very easy for you. Let's call it a day. That's all for this video. I hope so that you all enjoyed this video quite a lot. If yes, then please do subscribe to our channel, like this video, share this video with your friends and family, and do leave a valuable comment that which video do you want next. Very soon